it's completely within the rules to let them watch.
Right, and that's just another parallel to the traditional vanilla speedrun rules where there's no real puzzle or random factor to solve, so it's perfectly legal.
Alright, we see both our runners starting to go over Kakariko. And there's quite a lot here in Kakariko, actually, in terms of safeties as well as items. Most notable of which is, looking at the spoiler log, there's actually a fair amount of hearts here. We'll see how many each runner feels comfortable picking up.
Oh, one up going into Blind's hideout, which is where a good chunk of them are. Zero Rush is skipping it, but
Choosing
also Chad asking if... Oops, sorry.
Sorry, that's alright.
Chad was asking if this game was a doubleheader, and no, it is not. Game 2 is scheduled for this time Friday.
Yeah, both runners getting a bunch of hearts, and more importantly, we see that Zero Rush has the flute.
Minute and 3 flute activation. Seems good, friends.
And it seems oneup40 is even choosing to route in some pieces of heart later for a timely refill.
Oh yeah, that's one of the most difficult things to route, just because it's so secondary to everything else, even heart containers. But if you can pull off a clutch piece of heart to finish a container and get a refill, that will be something special. And
there's our first sword, and Zero Rush is already done with Kakariko, choosing not to pick up any of the hearts. That's bold. I'll respect you for that.
Well, I did say earlier that those would be the kinds of gambles we see today. Those safety items that determine whether a runner will live or die in a tough fight.
Indeed. So we have an early flute. And we have a sword. Speed is proven to be quite an interesting thing here. Choosing to head over to Mini Moldorm Cave. And they can't avoid this. That's for sure.
Nah, but sword makes it real easy.
Yeah.
Or at least it did. Little tense right now.
Careful there, Zero Rush.
He gets it, though.
oneup40 choosing to go to the chicken hut. Zero Jonathan picking up more money, and the glove, and the moon pearl. Meanwhile, oneup choosing to pick up another heart container.
That makes twice as many hearts for him as it does for Zero Rush right now.
Yeah.
Also, I'm interested, Zero Rush's save and quit strats when he has the flute, but I'm not sure if those are faster than just fluting to the appropriate locations rather than walking from Link's house. This one is probably a push because 5 is pretty far from where he's going.
Yeah. I think he's heading over to Sahasrahla, I feel. So, it's about the same, I think.
Yeah, probably. I think fluting to 8 may have been fast, or I guess fluting to 7 even would have been faster than save, quit, and walking. Actually, fluting to 7 definitely would have been, but...
And we already have Titan's Bits and Dark World access as a result.
Yep.
As well as the Fire Rod. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, 2 good items in Kakariko, 2 in the Mini Moldorm Cave, and 2 in the back of Sahasrahla's closet. That's some pretty nice symmetry there.
Yeah, and immediately going to the Dark World. And you can see our trackers already lighting up the pendants and crystals and all the medallions we need. Speaking of which, our tracker tonight is Corito. Shouts for him keeping up those items up to date for you. And, well, we're about to kick things into high gear, folks. Literally.
We are now speedrunning. Although Zero Rush Skull Woods is a pendant it is a crystal dungeon. Oh, and it looks like he is going for it. I wasn't sure he's taking a little bit of a different route than just walking straight to the portal, but obviously picking up those boots first, then going around. So, looks like we're gonna see the 3-heart Mothula fight.
If he pulls this off, he has all my respect. And getting a lucky drop there, look at that!
Yeah,
Full
that full
magic.
magic is gonna be nice. Actually, really, he could have grabbed one off the next room, off the bombable wall to the east, but this definitely saves him having to do that at least, and saves him a bomb.
Now that's Master Sword there.
So it's not the lowest possible percent Mothula fight.
Ooh, Zero's taking a death there. Alright, 1 of 40 now with the Fire Rod and the Timesmith himself going to go ahead and go into the Dark World.
Have to imagine he'll be following the same route as Zero Rush here, especially since he's considerably better equipped for a Mothula fight from a health stand.
Indeed. And Zero Rush also with the Master Sword. 1 up picking up the boots now. And choosing to save and quit. He's not fighting them off just yet.
Well, okay then. 1 up making a liar out of me. I approve. Looks like it's the castle instead for him.
Oh, I think I see why.
Yeah. We'll let chat have a couple minutes of guessing until he actually picks up what he's here for.
Yeah.
Oh, nice on Zero Rush, knocking that Helmasaur into the spike for the instant kill. You normally see them do that with the Gibdo, which takes 2 hits on the spike for the kill, but that was just nice coincidence.
Alright, Zero Rush fighting the Moth. Using Sword Beam strats.
Sword beams are safe, but they're super slow. They're only fighter sword damage. That's 16 successful hits required to down the Moth if that's all you use. Fire rod shots count double.
Yeah, unfortunately, anytime you walk in, those spikes, no damage is dealt. Very well executed from Zero Rush, though.
Yep. Played it really safe, which you have to do when you're on 3 hearts, and took no damage through the whole fight.
Yeah, very excellently done. And now we're down here at Zelda Cell. I believe this is what 1 is after. No magic to use the Fire Rod, though.
I'm super curious about where 1-up goes after this. He's got a few options. Now that he's got a Master Sword.
I think I have a sudden feeling here. A sudden feeling of dread. Yeah, 1 is not going there just yet.
It may be Skullwoods. May have wanted the Tempered for that fight since it was relatively available.
Probably. Both runners now picking up the mirror here. Zero Rush first and 1 second. And now our runners are heading over to what looks to be Desert.
Desert, Mire, Checkerboard Cave. There are more than a few checks here. Very few of them have value. But
and there's our first heart container seen by picked up. Bleh, words. There's our first heart container picked up by Zero Rush.
I'm a little intrigued that he would pick up that one, but none of the ones in CAC. Although I guess that one was directly right there.
I think
Desert Palace should be significantly less dangerous for him than Skullwoods ever was.
Yeah. I'm going to go with what you said. I think he's... oh, by the way, boots required. I think he was just cutting corners there, playing it risky.
It paid off.
Yeah, it paid off. And there's a lamp. So, Master Sword, lamp. I think I know where the sea wants us to go. Oh, of course I know where the sea wants to go. I have the log.
Yeah, but...
I mean, heck, we even have Tempered Sword available.
Yeah, that was 2 Sphere 1 swords between the castle and where was that first? In Kakariko, the tavern.
And we'll just say this much: neither runner has picked up the cape yet, which we know is actually at the bottle merchant.
Yeah, it's the freest 100 rupees you'll ever spend. Except neither of these runners are spending it. So far,
Yeah.
at least.
They don't want that safety, but that does complete the little trilogy that we'd like to call the Aghanim requirements.
Yeah, but with the cape or with the swords available, the cape is the who cares part of it.
Indeed. Although, I don't think zerorush would mind having it at this point, given us low health. But down goes Lamos, and there's our Bombos Medallion, a required item for us to have, as it is necessary to enter Misery Mire.
He could go there right now if he wanted to. Probably the only thing stopping him is that he doesn't have the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, that's a little bit later. And there's the first crystal for 1-up. Second crystal now for zerorush. And zerorush going over this way. Oh, zerorush, you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do? I think he is! You clever man. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe zerorush is going to be setting up the water walk glitch.
Maybe, yeah. He's got to make his way up. He's got to dash this hole. That'll set his stake.
And 1-up is doing the same, I think. And they're going to do a quick tech here. Yep.
1-up's got it.
1-up's got it. Let's see if zerorush has it. zerorush does not have it. Gonna try again. So
I think he got too close to that hole when leaving the Skullwoods area.
Yeah. So they're doing this for a specific reason here, and if they're actually gonna fall through this, and yeah, there we go. 1-up40 is skipping the Aghanim required seed that this is.
Yep. That just saved us 5 minutes of well, maybe not 5, but several minutes of absolutely nothing happening. Because this seed does demand that these runners go to Palace of Darkness without the hammer and without the flippers.
That's right.
Logically, the only way to get there is by killing Aghanim. But screw logic.
Yep. So for those of you who want to know what's exactly going on, the flippers are hammer locked, and the hammer is over here in the Palace of Darkness in a French location. We're not saying where exactly the flippers are, but they are hammer locked. So this seed was what I'd like to relate to Aghanim being required in like 4 different instances. This is the 3rd instance. Aga is required just to access the Palace of Darkness area.
And it's probably, assuming Dark World access in general is a separate instance for you, is that correct?
It is. It is.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the 2nd least common instance, if I had to guess.
Yeah, the least common instance is Pyramid Fairy having the hammer.
Right.
I dare say that, it's actually sort of like a flip. Actually, no, I think this is actually the 2nd most common one.
I don't actually know the stats on how often Lumberjack has an item, so maybe.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, there's our hammer. And no Young, because he has no bow.
Yep, cannot clear the dungeon, but we'll have to come back later.
But yeah, the most common access is obviously Aga required just for straight up Dark World. But this is instance 3. We have access to Dark World, but not Palace of Darkness. And it's time for a mountain climb. Now, 1-up40 is not saving our old man, who today, by the way, has our 3rd medallion that we don't need.
Yeah, Bombos gets us into Mire, Quake gets us into Turtle Rock, Ether gets us absolutely nothing.
And I think that was a misroute on... Yeah, it looks like it was a misroute on 1UP. I think he misread his spoiler log.
Yeah, Spectacle Rock is not Spectacle Rock Cave. I'm sorry, One Up.
And that's why he misread it, because he thought the Cave Safari was inside Spectacle Rock, but nope, it's on top. But yeah, with that glitch being done first try for 1UP, it is his lead right now.
Not sure I'd call it a lead when Zero Rush has the complete Desert Palace clear that One Up hasn't even touched yet. But it's definitely a lot of time saved that'll make that up. Because I think Zero Rush spent like a minute trying to set up the water walk glitch, if not a little more.
Well, think of it this way. The routing is a lot cleaner on 1UP because after doing Desert and getting the bombos, he can just mirror back and finish and do Misery Mire.
That's true, but that's not as big of a time save, I think, as it initially sounds because the flute is in hand. So
Yeah.
even in Zero Rush's case, it's just an extra flute for him.
Yeah, it's a little bit more efficient for what 1UP is doing, is what I'm trying to get at.
And yeah, Pyrotic Tiger in chat saying 4 attempts for Zero Rush to set up the water walk. But when you consider that he had to try to set it up and then run all the way over to that little entry point into the water, that ladder, to check whether he successfully activated the glitch, that adds up.
Yeah, that was probably maybe, I'll say about 1:30 of time lost. And not for lack of trying, it was just not getting the glitch to work.
Right.
Anyway, Hookshot Cave, it has something for us.
Floating Island has a little bit of fun, though.
I count that as part of Hookshot Cave, actually. Because you have to go through it.
Yeah, but I distinguish it from the chests because in this case, the chests have nothing.
Yeah. And, hey, who wants access to Turtle Rock? Because we have it. And yeah, you think this seed would have been kind of a thing to play in regular rando? Well, you are sorely mistaken, because we are not even close to being done yet. Interesting, though, that 1UP chose to take his mirror portal back through.
Yeah, and he's just mirroring again on the next screen. Might have just been a mistake on his part with the inputs, but...
Or just muscle memory. Wanting to go check Turtle Rock first, but he already knew. That is something that does come into play here. You're used to doing certain things in Randomizer. But, those things are usually because you don't have the information.
Right. And then you also, along the same lines, see things like runners opening all the chests in Paradox Cave or in Blind's Hideout, for example, when they don't strictly need...
That might just be more so that they don't mark which specific chest to open.
Yeah, either or.
Regardless,
anyway, yeah, we have the Turtle Rock dip, like you were saying.
Yeah, and I will say this much: Turtle Rock is quite loaded.
No ice rod though, so either they'll find it in here or they'll have to go grab it later using something like those flippers.
Yeah, and speaking of which, that's why it was a required agonim, because those flippers you can't exactly reach without that hammer.
Yep.
What other goodies are in here, though?
4 small keys. Ooh, that's muscle memory for you right there.
Yeah, that's muscle memory right there. Thankfully, you can just go hold right here, and the junction will let you take a detour.
Yeah, but he's got to do this. Well, I guess the torches are all out, so just once was enough.
But do you consider this is? But is that full-on randomizer muscle memory, or is it just having hookshot muscle memory?
I mean, you have hookshot here for vanilla no major glitches as well, so I can't say it's just randomized.
That is true. That is true.
But yeah, you asked what other goodies are here. There's 2 of your small keys. They're also going to find a big key at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple other items.
Yeah, there's quite a lot in here. Looking at the spoiler log, something interesting just caught my eye, but I don't think we're seeing that, unfortunately.
I actually am not sure what you're referring to off the top of my head, so I'll let you mention it again if it becomes relevant.
It's probably not going to become relevant.
Oh, how sad.
Actually, just to make sure.
Oneup misses his iframes on the well, he gets the iframes, but not right next to the pushable block, so he couldn't push it and took a hit for it. So that's half his health right there.
And yeah, the thing I'm noticing would lead to nothing. Oh! The Hogoku part just bounced off and hit one of him in the face. Back to start.
That's unlucky.
Yeah,
and that actually put Zero Rush back in the lead of their synchronized routing.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's unlucky too.
So while we wait for them to get back to there, I will just say that what I saw. I saw a Magic Bat had a shovel, but then I looked at what the Dig Spot has. It's only 20 rupees.
No Magic Bat for us this seed, it sounds like. That's... oh well. I think we'll all live knowing that they won't have to go all the way over there.
Speaking of Magic Bat, looking at the spoiler log, if I recall right, they won't be finding half magic this seed, so they have to be very careful with their magic.
Powder's cheap, Samaria's cheap. Fire Rod medallions are the only thing to really worry about most of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe Cane of Burna if they decide to grab it, even though they both look to have skipped the cape earlier.
I mean, they do have Ice Palace as a required dungeon, but the thing is, Ice Palace, you could set it up in such a way that you desert first, so that you have bombos, and that way you have some fire rod shots for the boss. Yeah.
Or even in One-Up's case, having the Tempered Sword, he wouldn't even really need the Fire Rod. Bombos alone just means you don't have to enter that fight with a full magic bar.
Indeed.
And let's see. Both runners grabbing the Poke Key does mean that the Lava Chest has a small key that they're skipping, but they need the Poke Key to make up for that, so not allowed to skip that this.
Nope.
And we're also seeing Mimic Cave.
Yep, there's something good here. And of course, it had to be that. I mean, let's be real, this might as well be part of Turtle Rock.
Yeah. And it's even if they have the spoiler log, it's still randomizer.
Exactly. But he's keeping going. There must be some other goodie here that he wants.
I mean, like you said, it's Turtle Rock. Let's be real, something's on the laser bridge.
Is there anything on the laser bridge? I actually forgot.
It's Turtle Rock, friend.
But I don't think it was as important as that. Hi there, Hookshot. How's it going?
Yeah, Turtle Rock being our Swamp Palace starter pack for the day.
And what I'm forgetting is the lamp. Does not have the lamp.
Doesn't need it. Also opting to take a pass on Laser Bridge. And since he doesn't have the Ice Rod, that means he has no need to go any further.
Well, we'll see what Zero Rush is going to do. He does have the lamp. And one of them might pick up what's there on Laser Bridge later.
Oh yeah, I would be surprised if One-Up bypassed Laser Bridge when he went back to Turtle Rock to kill Trinex. But actually, I'm trying to think. I guess skipping that depends on whether you plan on going to Misery Mire first. Because just having the silver arrows against Vitreous is enough of a save.
Well, actually, now looking at this, there is actually a key on Laser Bridge, so they will have to come here. Oh no! Oh no! That's bad.
Yeah, that's... I don't think we'll be seeing Zero Rush grab Laser Bridge. Or he's going back. Also, yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I did accidentally spoil that. Among potentially other things.
You spoiled
there are
something
silver arrows on Laser Bridge.
You spoiled something in the spoiler seed. How could you? Let's be real. Although, one of us is bound to do it sooner or later.
Yep. Zero Rush actually taking his third death in the span of about a minute.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Not taking those heart containers was really what's hurting him. I will say this much about the seed. The armor is not free by any means, so taking health is actually a good thing in this case. Zero is just playing it incredibly risky. And
let me double check what oneup just picked up since we didn't see it, unless you already know.
I'm looking at it.
That was the big key.
Yeah, that was the big key.
So yeah, we couldn't see it, but we have the spoiler log, so we can confirm for you guys that is definitely what he picked up.
Yeah, and actually, for the most part, the dungeons don't have progression. Now that we mention it, the hammer was here in Palace of Darkness. Turtle Rock was loaded, but that's more or less it. Other than the desert, Flamola's having the Bombos Medallion. It's really pretty much most of it, not all of it, is the overworld. And yeah, there's the powder. I think in this chest here is the silvers. Yep.
Okay, crisis averted. I have no longer spoiled chat.
It's too late. It's too late.
Anyways, looking at the tracker though, oneup is just actually both runners really are just an ice rod away from being able to boss rush what you would call go mode in conventional ramp.
Yeah.
So,
and well, we know where it is.
Yeah, I would say the seed was actually fairly balanced between dungeons and overworld progression so far. Mostly on account of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I'd say that. And yeah, even though oneup doesn't have bombos, we already know it's literally on the Lambolas.
That's correct, although I should have called out that yes, he does need that in addition to Ice Rod.
Dark Turtles is never fun, but thankfully he had the fire rod to light him up. That's probably why he didn't use the cane actually in the room before. He wanted to save his magic in case he had a really bad turtles. To which is actually fairly okay play. I can understand it.
Yeah, I would say his bigger problem in that room is that he picked up the sword beams off that fairy, and then that trolled him a little bit on the last one.
Alright, Realms are King falling.
Yeah, got a little beat up in the midsection of that fight, but was able to tough it out and not die.
Yeah. Very nicely done. Zero is on his way to there as well. So, given what oneup has, probably a safe bet that he's going to go to Swamp.
Swamp or the Desert Mire combination.
Well, let's see.
Ice Palace is also on the table, though. Basically everything but Turtle Rock.
Given the fact he has... Excuse me. Given the fact he has no bottles, I'd say probably Swamp first.
Yeah, no bottles, no bombos. Magic Management in Ice Palace isn't really a game I would feel like playing, even if it's not an especially difficult one. So
Yeah.
looks like it is Swamp for him. Would imagine we'd see the Desert Mire combo afterwards, but at the same time, he could just walk over to Ice Palace and decide he's willing to play the management.
Yeah. I mean, there is a bottle available. Well, we didn't see it, but it was at the mushroom spot. And we know this, of course, because, once again, we have the spoiler log. And it's due with the runners.
There was also one available in Hookshot Cave, although neither runner had the hookshot at the time, and obviously neither wanted to go back for it.
And zerorush will have some faster boss clears with those silver arrows. But anyway, yeah, we're entering Swamp Palace here. And there's actually not much here.
No, but that does mean we'll see a nice, clean, relatively cutscene-free Swamp Palace, which is my favorite kind.
Yeah, no LSS, or Left Side Swamp, as I've seen that abbreviated for some weird reason.
Looks like it's going to be Meyer on Zerorush's side, so little bit of divergence.
Yeah, this is him cleaning it up. I'm still defending OneUp's play, though, because given what we know, he's set himself up for a fairly clean finish here regarding Desert and Mire. Because both of them are crystals that he can collect before or heading to Ice and then Turtle Rock after finishing up Swamp here.
Yeah, the only thing he'd be missing that he could possibly want, aside from maybe armor, which we've already briefly discussed, is those silver arrows for Vigil.
Yeah.
And with Tempered Sword and, 7 hearts, you can do without.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about doing spins on the slime, but I'm pretty sure OneUp knows what he's doing. I mean, there's a reason I'm not in this tournament. I'm not in any tournament, rather.
Also, yeah, chat calling out Zerorush's Meyer too. That was real nice from him. One of the cleaner ones I've seen.
Yeah, those Wizard guards didn't stand a chance whatsoever. And, zerorush is avoiding the compass chest. I think that's what's over there, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of fun in there, but
Or is this the compass chest? No, that's
no,
the
the compass chest is the fire locked one.
Ah. Oh.
Yeah,
Give me a
perfectly
little hard.
He knew it.
Oh, we got a poke. One of them got a poke there, I think. Yeah. So slightly messed up. And unfortunately, down goes zerorush as Argus falls as well. 20 rubies there, but also, you haven't mentioned that. That's the other 5-6.
Yeah, and sorry, Zerorush wasn't actually calculated. I lied. I thought he was.
And yeah, the compass chest is kind of important in this seed, if I may say so.
Zerorush is making a statement, man. And unfortunately, his second go at Meyer 2 without the sword beams needs, I believe that was 3 cycles.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Sword beams are such an advantage in that room just because everything dies to them in one hit, even though they're fighter sword damage.
So hey, look, we're getting the super bomb. That must be... Okay, let's be real. If he's getting super bomb, and given the fact we're only missing the ice rod in terms of items we need, you kind of get to what this is going, chat.
Ice Rod or a fetch quest leading to Ice Rod, but
Yeah.
basically how much of a runaround do you want to see him do?
I am still fairly interested that zerorush did not go open the compass chest. That would have been nice to have.
Like I said, he's making a statement.
Yeah. For those wondering what's actually in that chest, remember how I said the armor upgrades weren't free? That's where one of them is.
And that's by far the more free one.
Yep. And there we go, Ice Rod, we're in no mode. Or at least you guys are now.
Sorry for the chat that wanted their fetch quests, but you've been denied.
And a little bit of spooky action happening on Zerorush's end, setting up that splash hitbox desync perfectly. And one of us already armed it as well.
Yep. And then for Zerorush, we're gonna see 11 silver arrows to the eyes, and this fight a joke with that eye.
And one of is going to get the lamp.
I would normally question the lamp pickup, but it's actually just right there in the way, and he's still got to do Mire, so saves more time than it loses.
Yeah, he probably also may not be comfortable with the Mire and Turtle Rock Dark Rooms. I can understand Mire. I can understand Mire completely, though it's 4 dark rooms, one of which you have to find a switch in the dark, and that's not the worst part of it. Turtle Rock, though, you're on the rails, really. So if you know at least when to hold your inputs and for how long before changing them, it's fairly free.
Yeah, it's just, you gotta learn it, because if you get lost in that room, you are super lost.
I mean, it's right down, hold down until you stop. Then the pot's right there in front of you.
Yes,
and then it's hold up to you. It's hold up till you transition, hold right till you transition, hold down till you change direction, and then hold left till you change, and then you're done.
Yeah, now imagine somebody who doesn't know that trying that room.
Yeah, I can see that. The fire bars make it a lot easier, though, to tell you when you've changed direction, though. Where is the Sword Hero skip? That would be the one in Zelda Cell.
Yeah, that's a hashtag things in Zelda Cell right there.
And
even more so than the progression.
We will not be seeing the final sword today, I will say that much about it.
It's in a very silly location.
I wouldn't say it's in a silly location so much as it's in an out-of-the-way location, based on what we got. But anyway, yeah,
out-of-the-way locations are silly.
That's Bombos, and that is officially Goma for 1UP40 at 37... I'll call that 38 minutes because of the cutscene.
Meanwhile, it looks like Zerorush is gonna have 6 crystals in hand before he hits that, but ultimately it's a game of the order things are done in, but I think his routing has been efficient enough for that given the flute.
Yep, and now we're seeing 1UP going into Mire. Nice bowling strats there.
Yeah, Zerorush showing off low percent skills and strats all over the place here. Gets stuck by the fire bar there, though, because he doesn't want to take the damage, even if it means saving a little time there on only 4 hearts.
Yeah, we'll see if 1UP decides to pick up the blue mail, the compass chest. Because right now, I think he's in insta-kill range from a Ganon Hug.
Yeah, but I think Ganon Hugs are it.
I know Ganon Hugs are 9 hearts on green mail. 9 whole heart containers. Well, actually, no.
It was 8, but...
Yeah, it's 8. My mistake. You get 9, and that's how you survive on expert difficulty. I'm making a minor error on my part.
And he's still Oko for them either way. Meanwhile, Zerorush, I think the falling ice is 2 hearts on green mail, so he's playing full Oko.
Yeah, any hit here is death. And there it goes. That's a huge time loss to take as well.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 minutes. And I mean, he's trying to make the statement, it feels like, with his low percent run, but some spots it just ain't paying.
Yeah, one has to wonder if what he's doing is even worth it. I mean, he's cutting corners, but he's losing a lot of time to deaths in general. There's the Book of the Door, by the way.
Yeah. He also needs to go get magic from somewhere before he can reattempt Ice Palace.
Looks like he is getting the heart container, so I think he's sick and tired of dying.
Can't blame him.
And it looks like oneup is going to opt for this blue mail here. And yeah, zerorush is going to pick up the hearts now.
Feels really weird seeing a 41-minute blinds hideout check.
It really does. And yeah, he's definitely tanking up now. I think he was attempting to cut corners, but the risk is 4 hearts is way too few to finish this game. I wouldn't be fine unless I had a full health bar, to be perfectly honest, if I was on green mail. Blue mail, 8 hearts would be fine, I think. And I think that's what oneup is set up for, is 8 hearts blue mail.
Yeah, I think he'll pick up another one someplace, but Zero's going back for all the safeties at this point after that Death to Cold Stare. He's on his way down for his Tempered Sword.
Yeah. I can kind of relate this sort of situation to playing Super Metroid 80%. You don't want to pick up any E-tanks really, ideally, but you still need a few to survive Mother Brain.
I'll be honest with you, I actually know very little about Super Metroid, but I did understand every single word of that statement.
Yeah.
And I agree with it.
I happen to know a little bit of Super Metroid, not a lot. And Krita there saying you only need 3 tanks for Mother Brain. Yeah, but you still need to pick them up. Link to the Past is a little more unforgiving in terms of damage, in terms of taking heart containers. You're intended to get those in normal NMG.
More specifically, required to get them aside from the Sank Heart.
Yeah, and most people pick that up anyway because it's safer to do so.
Right, I think the Sank Heart's a 4-second time loss, assuming you never die.
Yeah, but it makes the big key, the combat lock on the big key skip a lot safer.
Oh yeah, that's my point. It's only 4 seconds to grab it. So
yeah, but it could potentially save you 30 seconds if you don't have a really good Eastern big key skip.
Yeah, it's the sort of skip that you do when you're chasing explicitly a world record and you get it otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyways, oneup gonna go to Ice Palace here and presumably gonna get his 7th crystal, assuming nothing goes horribly wrong. Also, ACM, I'm rounding up, don't worry. Let's see, zerorush on the other hand, he's inside Swamp Palace, and this is gonna be a straight go mode swamp for him. There's nothing here, he just needs the crystal to get the super bomb.
Yeah, as soon as we know that is the Ice Rod, as we get back on track here from the Super Metroid discussion.
Yeah, it's just... that Ice Palace death is probably going to turn out to be the deciding factor in the race, unless Zero Rush really hauls it and makes up a lot of time.
Oh, I understand this is a one-ups race to lose, but thankfully this is only game 1 between them. We haven't even mentioned that yet. This is a game 1 of a set of 3, because these races go by fairly quickly. The next race, if I can pull up the schedule,
Friday.
Scheduled for tomorrow at the same time. Or no, Friday at the same time.
Yeah, I thought it was Friday.
My mistake.
If they scheduled one for tomorrow, that'd mean they managed to schedule while racing, and I would have been real impressed.
Yeah, the third match is currently not on the schedule, though, so... We'll have to see if these two need to tie it up first, I would say.
But yeah, we have hit the point in the race where there's essentially no room for route divergence left.
Yeah.
We're too far in, there just aren't enough checks left to have any real divergence. So, like you said, definitely one-ups race to lose at this point.
Yeah, now he can still have Now, the thing about these spoiler races is that they take out all the item luck. There's still the enemy luck as a factor. So things like the Moldorm 2 giving you a bad pattern while pushing you off the cliff. Those things can still happen, and they could still add up to one-up's disadvantage.
Right. We're by no means crowning him the winner at this point.
Yeah.
But
I will admit that it would take an alarmingly large string of those to come back from that, for those to actually matter. But they could still happen.
Yeah. And we see a clean cold stare kill from one-up using that fire rod. On the other side, we saw Zero Rush try to get the Zero Cycle on the Argus Puffs. Wasn't quite able to pull it out, but was able to get most of them. And definitely an improvement over just pulling and slashing like casual strats.
Yeah, I think Zero Rush is actually trying to get a silver arrow shot off.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, but I think he failed the first time because he got too close to Argus there and got a poke instead. Which caused him to jump up and take another cycle. Silvers are an instant kill on Argus, so that's the only reason that he would jump up. Alright, folks. We're entering Turtle Rock here for the final time with the Ice Rod in hand. We'll see if one of decides to pick up the powder and the silver arrows.
I don't see him skipping either one of those, especially with the key on the bridge. It saves time. Also, just to clarify in chat, or King Evil in chat, there is no way that this Pyramid Fairy for Zero Rush is his last location. He had the spoiler log. He got it 15 minutes before the seed started, so he knows where everything is. He just grabbed it a little bit differently than one-up did and had a little bit of unfortunate deaths in Turtle Rock and an Ice Palace.
Yeah. And a little bit of... There was a few execution mishaps as well. He had trouble getting the water walk, the skull was water walk, which both runners did to skip Aghanim. This wasn't Aghanim required seed because the hammer was at pod, and flippers were locked here in Turtle Rock.
And yeah, there's nothing wrong with the routing that Zero Rush used to get here. I wanted to clarify for chat that yes, this is a spoiler race. He knows where it is, and he did not fall victim to the randomizer in not having that item yet. Yeah.
Spoiler Log is a more execution and routing focused environment. There's no gambling on an item location sort of thing, because you all know where everything is.
Right.
It is purely routing, it's purely execution, and a little bit of luck, but that's more so on enemy RNG than it is item placement RNG.
Also, shoutouts to Zero Rush doubling his heart total since the last time he was in this dungeon.
Yeah, that's going to make him feel extra safe here.
Also upgraded his sword. I think he probably, if you were trying to get as low percent as possible, only needed one of those things. But he definitely abandoned that strategy after the cold stare death.
Yeah, because he knows he's really behind at this point. That was easily like 3 minutes time loss, and he knows it. So if he was behind before, he is really behind now, and he cannot afford any mistakes. And if he felt like he was ahead, he feels like his opponent is caught up significantly and needs another edge to... And another death like that is, for lack of a better term, going to destroy his run.
Do keep in mind that there don't have to be any gut feelings involved on that one. Runners are allowed to watch the streams, listen to us, hang out and chat, whatever. So if he thinks he's behind, he can just take one look at the stream or OneUp's personal stream to confirm it.
Yeah, that death set him back significantly, and he knows it, pretty much. And OneUp will be picking up the silvers here. Takes a fall on Laser Bridge.
As the safety door, though.
Yeah. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he took a laser here on purpose after picking up the key. Or just falls off the pit again. Yeah, definitely gonna probably take a laser on purpose here.
Well, Powder is a full heal for him, because he's only got 7 hearts. But yes, we do see that.
Yeah, he's gonna take the heal from respawning and try to conserve his magic, even though there is a full magic along the way.
Right. With trying to powder the anti-fairy for a heal, it's probably like 90% safe. But with only half a heart, if it goes wrong, he's right back to the safety door anyways.
Yeah.
With the extra time.
Alright, so it's time for Cold Stare, and it's time for you guys to play a little game in chat because we don't have much time. So, normally we would ask you to pick a number for the Ganon Tower Piki guessing game. We know already where it is, and it would be kind of unfair considering our runners know as well. So, we're changing the game up for a little bit for the Spoiler Log Tournament. Tell us which location, not a chess number, give us a location as to where you think the big key will be.
Shout out to
the specific chest.
Getting my favorite location.
We want the specific chest.
And yeah, specific chest because the number is always going to be between 1 and 5 unless something really silly happens.
And that is the crystal caught for oneup40.
Yep, so he's just a few seconds away from Turtle Rock entry. Just gotta finish this cutscene and dash over. Zero lost about a minute and a half trying to set up the water walk from Skull Woods to skip Aghanim. And then he died to Cold Stare his first time in Ice Palace. Also had some misadventures in Turtle Rock on his first step.
Yeah.
And all of those just sort of added up to the time difference you see here.
So, I will say this much now, folks. I'm going to stop guesses here. Because this is spoilers, I might as well say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not saying where it is, but I will say that no one got it right.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Zero Rush is still on green mail. His first Cold Stare fight was 4 hearts green mail. It didn't go well. He got pelted by falling ice twice. OneUp hits the switch instead of the hook shot. Hard to do that blindly, but it happens.
And there's the big key. So, 2 things to note here in Ganon's Tower as we find out the tower. If he went into the Stalfo's room, that was where our other armor upgrade was. We weren't going to get that anytime soon. That's what I meant by the armor was not free. And also wasn't free was the magic upgrade, which was behind the ice armos. We weren't gonna pick that up even if we did get the armor upgrade.
Yeah, but at this point, they both have the lamp, so half magic has basically no purpose. Like, the most you would want it for is if you were doing like a silverless cannon, or maybe the torch rooms upstairs in the tower. But we've got silvers, we've got the lamp. Who needs it?
Yeah, this whole race here has not been without death on either runner's parts, but Zero Rush's deaths have been a lot more painful to take. Well, dying to cold stare and a few other places. But one of only death, I think. Yeah, one of his only death was to a Hokuboku who caught him off guard by one of his rebounding parts.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, the Fourth Sword. I almost forgot. That's also here in Ganon's Tower in the rando room.
Yeah, further in than the big key, and neither runner needs it, so I really don't think we'll see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you compare the death 1-up took to that flying thing in Turtle Rock, and compare it to Zero Rush getting all the way to Laser Bridge on his first dip to pick up the silvers and the powder, but taking the death. And he actually didn't get those items either, if I recall correctly. He just took the death.
One of the not getting them. Zero Rush.
I think Zero Rush took a death and then went back for them, though, didn't he?
I believe so, yes.
And that was probably significantly more potentially more costly than just skipping them and getting them the second time through, like 1-up did.
Yes, and for those just now tuning in, this also was an Aghanim Seed, but both runners chose to do the Skullwoods Waterwalk skip to bypass it. It was Flippers in Turtle Rock, Hammer in Pod. 1-up got the Waterwalk on his first attempt at arming it. Zero Rush took about 4 attempts, which also spread the gap a little bit wider here between the two. I believe that's actually when the gap started. At least that's what I felt.
Sort of, yeah. At that point, Zero Rush did have an entire Desert Palace clear that 1-up didn't, and they were otherwise synced. But that's when it started, and then Zero Rush's attempt to play low percent didn't pay off for him and caused it to widen into what we see.
Yeah. And I can understand why he was trying that. He was trying to cut his locked corners. But I think even in this environment, picking up some heart containers so you can survive the bosses on the way, even if it's not a direct contact from Ganon, those are worth picking up, even if you're not going to get any mail upgrades.
Yeah, he cut corners that I'm not convinced he needed to cut, and it didn't pay off today.
Yeah. What? The wall's not broken on my end. This one?
Yeah. Visual bug?
Visual bug, I guess.
I think that one happens if, like, you know how the despawn glitch works. If you go up the stairs on the same frame that the door closes? Thing? Yeah. If you go through the other door.
Interesting. I've never seen that before. Anyway, that is Molder 2 down. Final chest is not opened. He already knows what's in it. What was in that chest anyway? Oh. Nothing really important.
Nah, literally worse than vanilla.
Yeah. We'll see if Zero Rush picks it up, but if he doesn't, well, it's fine for me. It doesn't really matter.
I don't think we'll see him pick it up unless 1-up guns before he gets there, and I don't think that's going to happen. Although it might. It'll probably be close. Especially with silvers in play.
Kind of an awkward Aga 2 fight, but down goes Aga 2, and now it is time for oneup40 to fight the pig.
Yep. All he's got to do is get his spins and slashes in order to get Ganon to start warping, and then put 4 arrows in him.
Yep. It'll be 12 slashes or 6 spins for the first 2 phases. A slash after Ganon stops teleporting around. The teleports are seeded, but that's the thing we haven't even mentioned yet, is that the spoiler log tells you a lot of extra information, like digging game digs, tells you what the quarter crab has. It's not coded to tell you what the seeding is for Ganon or Aga.
I mean, that's not information the runners can feasibly use, even if they know it, so I don't mind that it's not in there.
Yeah. Yeah, after we see all the... Oh, no!
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's not going to put him behind, but if that happens more than a handful of times, then... Also, this does change the seeding on Ganon, so... The spoiler log would now be lying to him if that information was in there.
Indeed. So yeah, once he gets past the first 2 phases, which both involve the Trident, he will be entering the Ground Stomp phase. Oh, this is a really good spot if this is phase 2. It is good positioning.
And his phase 2 is done, as long as he doesn't get hit here.
Ganon not teleporting away right away on the first teleport. And now it'll be another 3 slashes. Every time you slash Ganon in this phase, he will break the floor. If you don't hit Ganon fast enough, he shoots a spiraling fire bat across the room. And that fire bat might as well...
Oops, sorry.
And that fire bat might as well be death right now, because that'll be enough damage to kill. The worst is over, though.
The worst is definitely over.
Yep. Ganon's blue. Hit him with a silver arrow. Keep the torches lit. This looks to be a triple! 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, not quite. There's the 4th shot. Down goes Ganon. Get your GG in the chat for 1up40. Second attempt at Ganon goes cleanly. Zero Rush is on Boulder too, so not that far behind, actually. I would dare say that this came down to the cold start F. But yeah, get your GG in the chat for oneup40, who has finished officially with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, 27 seconds.
Yep, and on the other side, Zero is entering his Aga too, so all he's got is that and Ganon. Yeah, this might come down to within 3 minutes.
Indeed. So yeah, it would have been the cold. So if Zero Rush had actually been able to pull off his low percent rats, or even just took the safeties at the beginning so he had more health to play around with so he didn't die in cold stare, I would dare say this would have been his race.
It very easily could have been. This is finishing well within the realm of his having to redo Ice Palace and his Water Walk setup.
Yeah. He had to do, what, 4 attempts at the Water Walk setup? And then he actually routed after the cold stare to have all the safeties?
Yep, which was awkward, but sort of had to be done.
Yeah. So this probably would have been Zero Rush's race had he actually been able to succeed with his low percent plays. It's kind of interesting to think about that. I can't wait to see this game too, actually.
Yeah. I'm going to be most interested to see if Zero Rush adjusts his game plan based on how this one went.
Oh, also, your Uncle Stunning, he had a boomerang. We didn't mention that. No one bothered talking to him.
I mean, they say if you don't talk to him, he doesn't die.
Well, that is true. And yeah, that's what the mushroom would have led to. I don't think the mushroom was in a position you could have picked up. Anyway, here we go.
No, it was also behind Ice Armos alongside that half magic.
Yeah. Going 4 hearts for pretty much the majority of his run. Zerorush did pretty good routing. It just got a little bit... he just lost too much time to deaths. Which, that's the risk when you're running 4 hearts. really.
Yep. And then just to note, we will try to get both runners in here for interviews once Zero Rush formally finishes, which you see he put the 4th arrow in, so that should be shortly.
Yep, get your GGs in chat for Zero Rush. He's not out of this tournament yet. But he was down 1 game after finishing in 2nd place here with a time of 1 hour 5 minutes 18 seconds.
So let's see if we can get that happening.
All right, that'll be an interesting thing to talk about because I'm just reading SRL here. We'll see about getting them both in here for an interview. OneUp is already here, so we can start talking with him if we want.
Okay, yes, we do have OneUp with us. We'll pull Zero Rush in when he joins, but GG OneUp. How you doing? I think your mic is muted. I'm not sure if...
Whoops.
Yeah.
GG, thanks, and GG to Zero Rush as well.
Yeah, so... And there's Zero Rush as well. GG's to you both. An excellent race series. And the deviation, I would say, started even in Kakariko. This was actually really close, all things considering. Zero Rush, you opted to try 4 hearts, green mail, cold stare.
Yeah, so about that, like, I had been practicing Master Sword strats on that fight with the beams, so that way you can do the 2nd phase with Fire Rod. But typically, in that mode, when you go to Cold Stare, you flute to Link's house, and then do Zora for flippers and such, so I think my Fire Rod height variable was different, which messes with the hitbox, which screwed it up. So I'll have to look into that one and see why my timing was off. But I probably would have died even so.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I wasn't playing that well in Ice Palace in general.
Yeah, and there was actually quite a lot of factors. Here, she took a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
And another thing that was a factor, it wasn't even the deaths, it was the execution to some degree. Both of you, at roughly the same time, went for the Skullwoods Waterwalk skip, so you could skip Agate 1, which was required this seed, as you both know. OneUp got it on his first try. Zerorush, you had to do 4 attempts in order to get that armed.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. I looked like I was doing it right, but apparently not. Maybe my dash timing was off.
Yeah. But all in all, it's just a lot of these little variables here. This could have been easily your game 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, less than 3 minutes difference with a death on Cold Stare. The water walk shenanigans. I died in Mire on the spikes because I tapped down because I'm dumb when I was trying to powder the fairy, and died in Turtle Rock a few times.
Yeah.
Once on the laser bridge, which really sucked. Like, I just wanted to get silvers.
Well,
and then I got stuck on the railing.
OneUp, you didn't go get through Turtle Rock unscathed either. You took a death to what was actually kind of a weird thing, the Hokuboku, on the way through the pipes.
Yeah, you know, I've had that happen before in a run, and it's like the worst feeling in the world. There is some strat you're supposed to do just to make sure that doesn't happen on like the 1 in 4 chance or whatever it is, but I completely forget what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that was pretty rough.
Yeah, and then you also took the death to Ganon, which set you back a little bit, but pretty much the safety there.
Yeah,
so let's talk about
kind of caught me off guard because I didn't think I had gotten the spin in time, the last spin for phase 1 in time to get to phase 2. And then, like, all of a sudden he was in phase 2, and I was nowhere close to where I could actually get some hits in. And so that kind of threw me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the seed here. What do you guys think of the seed as a whole?
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been awful trying to get through that without the spoiler. Thankfully,
Oh.
without the spoiler, it wasn't too bad. Like, I mean, sure, there's that double dip to Turtle Rock, which nobody likes, but really, that was probably about the worst part of the seed. And I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I've seen spoiler logs that got pretty awful. So, yeah.
It's 4 required 4. I think 4, 3 or 4 required items in Turtle Rock, including
Yeah, it was pretty
just
hard.
2
and the
that were
hammer
hard
was in
required.
pod. Like the hammer was in pod, and it was required double dip of pod too. That is insane. And an Agaseed, like they should have just put Ice Rod on the pedestal. That would have really sealed it.
Yeah. But to both of your credits, this seed was kind of nice with the safeties. Not the males, though. The males are kind of bad, but that cape was actually pretty free, but neither one of you grabbed it. Could have probably saved Zero Rush's life more than once, really, if you think about it.
Where was the cape? I know.
It was on the bottle vendor.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have enough money. I mean, I did, but I needed that money for pod, and then the rest of the money I needed for Big Bomb. I wasn't really looking for anything else after that. But the places I died, I don't think it would have helped me. I didn't have any magic on Turtle Rock. I got one shot by Chomps. That might have helped me there if I tried to use it, but I mean, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, there was also a bottle in the mushroom spot as well, but that had a B, so it wasn't exactly a free safety, so much as one that, you know, you could have maybe got the bug net, which I don't even remember where that was.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't mean to skip all those hearts in Kakariko. Like, I saw one was in Chicken Hut, but I was like, well, I don't know if I'll have enough bombs because I'm not going to sit here and figure out my bomb route in 15 minutes. So I just skipped that one, and then didn't even realize that there were 2 in Blind's hideout as well. That's just kind of counting on the 5, the one from Meyer and the one from the dam when I did Swamp.
Yeah, actually, never mind. The bucket she was all the way in Waterfall Fairy. That was actually kind of out of the way to get.
Oh, okay.
But still, could have just as easily bought a blue potion. But yeah, GG's you. You're not done yet, of course. Your next race will be Friday.
Yep.
No game 3 listed.
No, we're going to do. I remember us talking about this. Saturday or Sunday or something.
Yeah, we'll have to schedule something one of those days. I think I've got my league match Saturday, but I'll have another time, I think, or I'll have enough time to fit a spoiler race in the evening, or else we can do it Sunday, or we can just talk in Discord after and figure it out.
Yeah, assuming we even need to schedule it. Like,
Yeah.
game 2.
Yeah, I mean, we probably will, I would imagine. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got a little lucky on that save, so we'll see what happens.
No, don't consider yourself lucky. Me dying on Cold Stair is 100% my fault, and completely, like, going to Cold Stair with 4 hearts and green mill is suicide, and I got exactly what I deserved.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can go on.
I was kind of relating it to sort of like how Supermetric players still need to pick up a few heart E-tanks, rather, in order to survive Mother Brain. It's kind of a similar deal here. You didn't have enough health, really, and we're playing it kind of risky as a result.
Yeah, and I wanted to just give my props to Zero Rush. The race didn't go your way, but with all of those mishaps you had, the fact that you kept it under 3 minutes is super impressive in my book. Chat specifically calling out, you made up 2.5 minutes in just Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower, when Turtle Rock was already devoid of items. You had already gotten them all.
Yeah, and I think
I had my eye on the restream all the way through Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower, because I knew I had a few minute lead, but I knew that that would probably start shrinking a little bit as we started going through those, which it did. So,
Yeah, and for
um,
for the most part, is I think the silver arrows that made that time shrink happen, because those boss fights were just lightning fast for Zero Rush. Although you both did get an accidental poke on your Arguses, each of you.
Yeah. I also bailed on the 1 cycle because he came really low, or the 0 cycle, and I only had 3 hearts, and I really didn't want to die to Argus too. That would have been bad.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable.
But yeah, I had the race up on my phone, so I was listening to it, and honestly, my going up to Turtle Rock, I kind of knew my only chance was if oneup really, like, I figured I could make up some time, but you're not going to make up 2.5 or more minutes. Like, how much I was behind, there's no way I can make that up, assuming he doesn't, like, die in Gauntlet or something.
Indeed.
yeah,
Well,
that actually did get pretty sketch at one point. I think I was down to 1 heart right before Land 2.
Yep, I was
Um,
getting really excited, honestly, but there was a berry right there, so.
well, GG's to you both. Your game 2 is, of course, on Friday at 8:30, restreamed to be determined. And that's the last race for us here in terms of the Spoiler Log Tournament tonight. So, at 8 o'clock on Friday, it will be Kyung and Wolfie as well. And then on Saturday, Gamer Califor's ACMLM starting at 3 o'clock. It's going to be a double header that way on that day. And yeah, of course, make sure to follow these two runners, of course, Zero Rush and oneup40, putting on an excellent race for us today. While you're at it, make sure to also follow Speed Gaming 3, as well as Speed Gaming, the original, and Speed Gaming's 2 and 4 through 6. As well as, of course, as our commentary restreams in other languages if you are more of a native speaker of Spanish, French, Portuguese, or German, even. Of course, let's not forget my co-commentator Reg and our tracker Carito. And of course, there's just a whole bunch of races here. But we gotta let you go. So we're gonna go let you find something else to watch. But from all of us here at Link to Fast Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
I have been Reg, and good night to all of you. Although before I go, I will shout out, on this very channel, in about 10 minutes, a Link to the Past Randomizer League match is starting. It's going to be a cross-world Key Sanity, so if you're at all interested, hang around for that. But we're out, guys. Good night.